Rolex has famously or infamously become known as a brand that never loses value. With the new recent releases, the discontinued Rolex models have soared up in price to insane levels. Hey guys, it's Ben from Watch & Life. Due to brands like Rolex and Patek Philippe, the notion that watches are financial investments have become more popular than ever before. Unfortunately though, with the price skyrocketed, it's difficult for us mere mortals to be able to acquire and enjoy these pieces. Although I think of watches as more of an emotional investment rather than a financial one, I put together a list of 5 watches that are not Rolex that hold value after they've been worn. Before I get started, I do want to preface it by saying that 95% of watches, if bought at retail price point, they are going to depreciate around 20 to 40% in value, depending on the type of watch and the condition of the watch after it's been worn. But if you buy a watch at the right price point, usually pre-owned or in the secondary market, you are going to be protected and your watch is going to maintain its value most of the time, even after it's been worn. And it goes without saying, this rule applies to the list of 5 watches that I have for you guys today. But let's get started. The first watch I have on my list is the Omega Speedmaster Sapphire Sandwich. Specifically, this watch has a reference 311.30.43.30.01.006. I know this one was probably predictable knowing how iconic the Speedmaster line is, and based on some of the listings that I found, the Sapphire Sandwich sells for around $4,900 to $5,000. Using the Chrono 24's value calculator metric, the Sapphire Sandwich, pre-owned with box and papers, sells for around $4,900. I know prices on Chrono 24 aren't meant to be taken as gospel, but it is a very useful tool. And yes, the prices will vary somewhat depending on the condition of the watch, but that is about the average, the $4,900. Additionally, the Speedmaster Sapphire Sandwich will most likely be discontinued soon, so the value may even go up higher in the near future. The next watch on the list is the Zenith El Primero. The reference number of the watch in question is 03.2150.400/69.C713. The El Primero, known as the first, is another icon with rich heritage that is widely accepted as the very first chronograph with an automatic movement. Based on the listings that I was able to find, this watch sells for around $5,500 secondhand. Based on the Chrono 24 value calculator, the value of this watch ranges for around $5,200 to $5,500 as pre-owned. I have no doubt that this watch is going to maintain its value for years to come, as it is such an icon. Grand Seiko is a brand that's been doing incredibly well for themselves for the past few years. The watch in question is a Grand Seiko Skyflake, aka with the reference number SPGA 407. This watch is incredibly beautiful with its dial, and some would even say that it has the most beautiful looking dial a watch can have. The finishing on this watch is superb, as it is done with the coveted Zerasu finishing technique, where a master artisan polishes the watch by hand and feel. Based on some of the listings that I was able to find, the watch goes for in between $5,200 to $5,300 and sells for around $5,200 pre-owned. The next watch might be a little unsuspecting because it is in a price tier below the other watches that I've mentioned in this video so far, but the watch in question is the green Oris Aquis. Oris has been making splashes in the dive watch category with the Aquis, and I have to say that the Aquis is very well accepted by the general populace. The color green on watches have been very hot, and some may even consider green to be the new blue. This watch sells with the retail price just above $2,000, but as secondhand it can be purchased for around $1,600. From my experience selling my personal Oris Aquis, I can confirm that I was able to sell the watch for around $1,600, and back when I bought it for a little bit less than $1,600, so I actually ended up making a small profit on it as well. So it's safe to say that the Oris Aquis maintains pretty good value. The final watch on my list today is the JLC Sector Dial Master Control Date. The reference number for this watch is Q1548530. This watch has become quite rare and it was difficult to find a lot of comps for this watch, but I found a listing that is selling it for around $6,500 pre-owned with box and papers. With how rare this watch has become, I have no doubt that you should be able to sell it for the same price you got it for, at the minimum. With how rare this watch has become, I think if you buy this watch at $6,500, there's a pretty good chance that you might be able to make a profit if you decide to sell it later on. That is all for today, but leave me some comments in the comment section down below. Besides the watches that I mentioned today, what other watches hold value well from your experience? And as always, if you enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.